happen, and I won't let it slide. It's not the first time Justin will do such and cheap tricks with poking eyes like those. His fight against Paddy will be his last. And UFC is only for the real fighters, not the cheater.
Were you surprised by Paddy's game plan?
I didn't understand his game plan even. He wanted to box with Gaethje, but he couldn't wrestle him, he couldn't box him. He just a little bit young and he has a better chin, but he's a trash can.
Just curious, what did you think about Paddy's chin? Because a lot of people say Justin Gaethje is the hardest hitter they've ever faced.
Yeah, but Paddy got knocked out like 15, 20 times. Yeah, Justin was like 3-4 years ago, he was different. Now it's like he's getting old and it's last a couple fights he got.
Paddy's heart, the grit of this kid. I don't care that he lost the fight. He comes back and murders like most guys.
Yeah.
Like anyone that doesn't have the grit. Like obviously everyone, like myself and everybody else, is worried about how much a fight like this takes out of you. But he's super young.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think he's young enough to bounce back from a fight like this and to turn it into a superpower moving forward. Because not many people survive Gaethje the way he does, the way he did, or like have moments of greatness late in the fight after taking the hits that he took.
That Scalzer does not get knocked out. Oh my God.
I just felt like I did enough. I just felt like I did enough to get the job done. Paddy is getting the beat out of him right now. It looks like, Jesus, this might not end well.
It was almost like he understood the assignment. We're on Paramount. There's a new network. There are going to be new fans. We need to introduce them to what the UFC is. I think after watching that, everybody that was tuned in are going to be lifelong fans of the UFC. Because on this special night, there is not a sport in the world that can compare to the UFC, and tonight we have one of those special nights.
So here's the deal. After all that absolute chaos finally settled and the dust cleared from this massive showdown, nobody's talking about predictions anymore. Everyone's completely consumed with breaking down exactly what went down inside that octagon.
You were saying stuff like, well, his entrance is good and it's all well and good to get the fans, but he needs to be able to fight. Obviously, we've seen him have great wins before, but to show the durability he had in that fight tonight, do you feel like even though he lost, he will be considered one of the best in that division moving forward?
No doubt about it. I mean, he was the favorite tonight. I think that's what fucked him. Every other one, he's the underdog and everybody thinks he's going to lose. Tonight, he's the favorite. I don't think that his game plan was the greatest. Obviously, tonight he showed he is tough, he is durable, and almost impossible. I mean, especially against Gaethje. And you're eating those punches from him. You know, it's one thing to say, listen, I'm going to come out. I believe in, say, you know what? It's the third round. I got 2 rounds left. I might want to try to take him down.
Right before the initial blow, leading up to fight night, the MMA world was genuinely torn in half, which just added to the electric atmosphere. One side was convinced that Paddy's relentless forward march and that signature wild pace would steamroll Gaethje from start to finish. But just as many people believed Justin's ice-cold composure and surgical precision would be the deciding factor, what makes this even more fascinating is how that exact same split among experts and fans played out in real time during the actual fight, making every moment feel intensely personal for everyone watching.
Gaethje, what an unbelievable performance. Paddy the Paddy, oh my God, he impressed the hell out of me. Incredible, he'll learn from that, but I tell you what, he's got what you can't teach. Heart, grit, determination, all that shit. Yeah, you can make tweaks, you can put the chin down, you can lift the hands up. What he showed tonight is that he is legit. The man is real, and that's for damn sure. He's at the hospital right now, he'll be fine, they're just checking him out.
Before a single strike landed, respected coach Tim Welch broke down this matchup with laser-sharp insight. He immediately zeroed in on Justin Gaethje's surgical ability to inflict serious damage in the opening moments, especially highlighting those brutal calf kicks. Look, these aren't flashy head kick highlights that make the Instagram reels, but trust me, they're methodically designed to chip away and ultimately destroy your opponent's foundation. Think about what happens when those shots start landing consistently. They don't just hurt, they completely mess with your balance, disrupt your stance, and severely limit your mobility. Once that crucial base starts crumbling, everything changes. Your rhythm gets thrown off, your reactions become slow and predictable, and suddenly those lightning-fast exchanges become much more readable for a fighter like Gacy. In that kind of compromised state, Justin's naturally devastating striking power becomes exponentially more dangerous, because opponents simply cannot move, pivot, or evade the way they desperately need to.
Very, very good at grappling, and I felt that he deviated from the game plan, meaning that if I was in his corner, you're going to move. One, he's got to keep his hands up here. I like the traditional look where you can move, you can elbow, you throw your right hand, right, left, high kick, push kick. You're just way more, this is standard. This is like the best option. But I still feel like he deviated from the game plan where I think he felt that he was going to be able to knock out Justin Gaethje, and I just don't think Paddy Pimblett has that torque. Not saying he can't do it, I just don't think he has the torque to knock out a guy like Justin Gaethje, who's been in wars with guys like Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway. Max Holloway's knocked him out. He's knocked out Dustin Poirier. He's been in wars with Eddie Alvarez. He's just been in a lot of wars on the feet. But when you look at some of the things that, Khabib did to Justin Gaethje, he made it look easy. He took him down, past his guard mount.
Now here's where things get really dangerous for Paddy Pimblett. The moments that put him in the most serious jeopardy typically happened during his explosive forward rushes. When Paddy would launch into those signature blitzes with all that heart and aggression, his head movement unfortunately sometimes lagged just behind his offensive output. Against a precision striker like Justin Gaethje, even a split second can mean the difference between landing clean or getting knocked out cold. That brief lapse in his defensive posture essentially left his chin exposed, sitting right there for Gaethje to target during those wild exchanges. From Tim's analytical standpoint, it was a terrifyingly simple equation. Just one perfectly timed, absolutely devastating counter from Justin mid-combination, and this entire fight could end instantly. The stakes during those moments were genuinely as high as they could possibly get.
Aspect to this entire game plan, okay? Gaethje was going to pressure fight him, walking down, guns blazing, turn it into a dogfight, and hopefully he outlasts Paddy, okay? This whole game plan is banking on the fact that he knows he can take more, he can deal more, and he can capitalize on it later in the fight. Okay, because and to be fair, he's got legs to walk with that because he's done it time and time again. And round 3, we saw him be like, okay, I'm gonna take this round off.
I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna stay at mid range. I'm not gonna walk you down and just let you come back a little bit. Try to build some energy. and everyone was worried. Like honestly, I saw like a glint of disinterest from Gaethje. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It was weird. But then round 4 just puts his foot back on the pedal, maybe knowing he's got 2 rounds left. Bar fight Gaethje. It was Gaethje of old. It was.
Here's what's fascinating though. Despite that constant thread of a finish hanging over nearly every exchange, Tim Welch never once characterized this fight as simply striker versus grappler. And you know what? He's absolutely right. As rounds wear on, especially at the elite level, those neat tactical blueprints usually break down, and fights like this almost always devolve into this beautifully chaotic, unpredictable mayhem. We're talking wild scrambles on the ground, nasty clinch work against the fence, and these incredibly awkward, exhausting transitions that can completely dictate the pace of the entire bout. Those messy scramble-heavy sequences are exactly where Paddy Pimblett has consistently done his best work. He has this incredible ability to drag opponents into these grueling, demanding sequences that can totally flip the script. He might look hurt, he could appear off balance for a moment, but then suddenly, through sheer will and that relentless fighting spirit, he creates an opportunity to take control and completely turn the tables. It's truly something to behold.
don't want to look like a loser right now, but everyone saw I was better than Justin that fight, but the UFC wanted him to win. The lad smashed my eye with his finger. I had to play all of the rounds with a broken eye, which is not fair.
You saw him do it to Michael Chandler. He's taken on the highlight Justin Gaethje. 26 wins, 5 losses, 20 KOs. The dude fucking KOs people. Early on, he'd calf kick the fuck out of people. He'd calf kick people where they couldn't take it anymore. He had many TKOs from calf kicks alone. The guy is just a dense fucking ball of muscle, built for fighting, 37 years old now. He's crumpled people with his left hook. He's crumpled people with his right hand. Paddy Pimblett is going to have to be very careful throwing his flurries on Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje will sit down and rip a left hook, or sit down, drop his head, and launch a right hand. That's Justin Gaethje's ways to win. He could KO Pat.
This unpredictable, chaotic environment is exactly why Tim Welch ultimately characterized the fight as being decided by the narrowest possible margins. We're talking about a scenario where just one perfectly placed shot, whether punch or kick, could instantly change the entire trajectory of the fight within seconds. The danger level stayed that elevated throughout. Despite all that constant imminent threat, Welch actually leaned slightly toward Paddy, which is intriguing. His reasoning came from believing that given enough possible scenarios, enough different ways the fight could unfold, Paddy would find his path to victory more frequently than not. What's really telling about this breakdown though is that he acknowledged none of those roads to victory for Paddy felt safe, straightforward, or even remotely predictable. It would always be a dangerous high wire act, but one where Paddy's unique skill set gave him a slight edge in the sheer number of potential routes to success.
Justin Gaethje with the title around his waist, he earned it. Justin Gaethje's fought all these fucking monsters his whole goddamn career. Edson Barbosa, Donald Cerrone, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Khabib, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, Fiziev twice, Dustin Poirier again, Max Holloway. Like, holy shit. He's fought the elite. So I'd love to see Justin Gaethje get it done. If I had to put, fuck, this is hard. If someone gave me $10,000 to bet with, and they said, hey, put it on who you think's going to win. God. I'm going to say 60-40. 60-40. 40% chance that Justin Gaethje knocks Paddy Pimblett out. Hits him on his chin. When Paddy Pimblett's flooring, hits him right on his fucking, hits him right on the scouser chin. Bunk. Gets dropped. 40% chance, I think. 60% chance this fight, Justin's not able to find him. It's a little bit, it's like a spastic, weird style. He's not able to find his chin. If Paddy Pimblett puts him on his back, it's going to be a long night for Justin.
With every strike thrown and every technique attempted, the expert opinions remained completely divided down the middle. It was like watching two entirely different combat philosophies collide. One side firmly believed that Paddy Pimblett's wild, unorthodox movement combined with his deeply ingrained grappling instincts would simply drown Justin Gaethje in this overwhelming tide of chaos. They thought Paddy could drag Gaethje into uncomfortable positions for extended periods, taking him out of his comfort zone. The opposing camp put their complete faith in Justin's legendary composure, his proven finishing ability, and his striking precision. Their viewpoint was that Gaethje would consistently make Paddy pay heavily for every risky advance, for every sloppy exchange. This fundamental disagreement and approach made the actual fight into something truly special, where literally every single exchange felt like it carried the weight of potentially rewriting the entire narrative. The tension in the arena among the analysts and with the audience shifted dramatically because neither fighter let the other settle into any kind of comfortable or predictable rhythm.
Will you be served with Pimblett? Maybe. Gaethje, experience, good striker. He's well-rounded everywhere, but he's got to use the assets of a smaller guy. We've seen it, where you got to box, you got to use your legs, you got to set traps. You know, he's got the capability of doing that. Outmaneuver, outflank Pimblett. You know, Pimblett, let me tell you, he has improved a lot over the last 2 years. He really has, bud. He has gotten better. He's gotten more. You could see he's come into his own. Confidence-wise, physically, he's in great shape. They usually all are. But he's improved. His striking has improved. He's a good wrestler, grappler. But he loves to strike. That's what's going to make this fight really interesting and good. They're both going to strike. I mean, for the most part, they're both going to strike.
Diving deeper into Tim Welch's breakdown, he consistently viewed the matchup through the lens of cumulative damage and precise timing, constantly referencing Justin Gaethje's relentless calf kicks and their ability to create crucial early advantages. His core theory was deceptively simple yet brutally effective in its implications. Early leg damage, which Gaethje specializes in delivering, fundamentally alters the entire dynamics of combat. Why? Because it doesn't just injure, it seriously compromises your entire stance. It drastically limits your lateral movement, and perhaps most importantly, it subtly but significantly changes how you react defensively when you see an attack coming. Welch also emphasized that while Paddy Pimblett's aggressive rushes define his style, they can paradoxically create extremely dangerous opportunities for his opponent. A calculated power striker like Justin, with his exceptional timing, really only needs one clean opening to flip the entire fight in an instant. However, and this shows the real complexity, Welch readily admitted that as those rounds progressed, the fight would naturally, almost inevitably, drift toward those chaotic exchanges and completely unpredictable scrambles, and that's exactly where Paddy's natural confidence, his sharp grappling instincts, and his determination to stay dangerous even from bottom position could prevail. As Welch put it, this wasn't a blind gamble without logic or reasoning. It was a calculated risk, a high-stakes chess match where either man could be proven right depending entirely on which critical moments emerged at the worst possible time for their opponent.
But I would go with the over on this because I think the over-under is like
2.5 rounds.
How many?
2.5 rounds over minus 115.
All right, listen. Again, we have a pretty good record here, but you know, I mess up once in a while. I do. That's why it's gambling. But I like the over. I mean, if Gaethje fights the perfect fight, you never know. You never know. But I know who the judges are probably favoring. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. It shouldn't be anything about that. It should just be about what goes on in the cage or in the ring. But I can't help myself but think about things that I see. So maybe, you know, Gaethje would really have to do a job, I think, to get it, which he could. But I think I probably favor Pimblett a little bit. But at the end of the day, if I had to put my bucks down,
Legendary boxing coach and analyst Teddy Atlas approached this entire matchup through the eyes of a seasoned strategist, and his insights were absolutely compelling. He strongly emphasized the critical importance of Justin Gaethje using smart footwork, intelligent positioning, and measured discipline, rather than just planting his feet and trading shots in the pocket like some kind of bar brawl. Atlas repeatedly hammered home the idea that Gaethje's superior experience only matters if he uses it wisely, and crucially avoids getting sucked into a reckless crowd-pleasing war just because the fans are screaming for blood. That would be a tactical error. At the same time though, Atlas gave Paddy Pimblett substantial, well-deserved credit for how much he's evolved both physically and mentally. He described Paddy as significantly stronger, much more composed under fire, and far more comfortable handling those longer, grinding sequences. Atlas ultimately leaned toward that youthful energy and raw determination, having a unique ability to emerge late in a fight, especially once fatigue sets in, and the pace of crucial decisions starts to slow. From Atlas's veteran perspective, Paddy had much more room to adapt and adjust his approach throughout the rounds, without ever losing his core identity as a fighter or breaking under the immense pressure. This deep ability to truly evolve, to fluidly absorb punishment both physically and mentally, can make an absolutely massive difference in a bout that goes deep into championship territory.
If he can eat it, I can see Paddy catching Gaethje and maybe almost like a Oliveira fight, you know, catch Gaethje, hurt Gaethje wobble, and then, you know, get to Gaethje's back or something, maybe subtle. You know what I mean? Like, Paddy is very well rounded. You know, he out wrestled wrestlers, he out grappled grapplers. He stands with you. You know, he doesn't care. He throws. You know, everybody be like his chin is in the air. He takes shots. Yeah, he takes shots and he still walk forward. How long will that last? We don't know. And that's the question I have to this fight. Or what his reaction is going to be when Justin Gaethje catches him. If Justin Gaethje punched like a truck,
Max Holloway, always a straight shooting and insightful analyst, famously boiled down the entire complex matchup to one simple, absolutely ruthless and practical question. Could Paddy Pimblett actually survive Justin Gaethje's legendary finishing power without completely falling apart? It's a devastatingly straightforward question, but it cuts right to the heart of what makes Gaethje such a dangerous opponent. Holloway's expert opinion was this: if Paddy showed the raw durability and mental toughness to weather that incoming storm of strikes, then he definitely had the natural fighting ability to turn those terrifying disadvantageous positions into superior grappling control and sudden momentum swings. And let me tell you, in a fight at this level, those kinds of shifts can completely reverse the entire situation in the blink of an eye. Holloway also made it crystal clear that Justin Gaethje, unlike many other fighters, never really needs to land a huge volume of shots to change a fight's direction. Why? Because every single well-placed punch and every single well-placed kick he connects with has truly devastating fight-altering consequences. It only takes one perfectly timed crushing blow from Gaethje to instantly erase an entire round of hard work and effort, possibly before Paddy can even establish any kind of stable rhythm whatsoever. Finally, the always relentless Murta Dagestani, known for his non-stop pace, genuinely saw this entire fight as a real coin flip, a complete 50-50 proposition. He clearly outlined two incredibly harsh, absolutely unforgiving paths for the bout, emphasizing that there was virtually no comfortable middle ground at all. The result would be one of two scenarios: either Justin Gaethje would systematically break down Paddy Pimblett through his relentless, steady accumulation of damage, constantly wearing him down until Paddy simply couldn't function effectively anymore. Or alternatively, Paddy would somehow survive that initial barrage, weather the storm long enough to successfully drag the fight into those chaotic endurance-sapping grappling exchanges, where momentum would then slowly but surely shift away from Justin, almost imperceptibly at first, without viewers really noticing the gradual change. For Murat, the deciding factor wasn't just skill alone, since both of these elite fighters clearly had the tools to win. Instead, it came down entirely to pain tolerance and the ability to make smart, critical decisions under extreme, overwhelming pressure. His key observation was this: over potentially 5 grueling rounds, with fatigue and damage inevitably building, it's the incredible mental and physical toughness to keep pushing through that constant punishment while still managing to choose the right moment to strike back that ultimately determines who walks away victorious when everything is on the line.